One of the scariest guys in the world right now is this guy, Artur Beterbiev, and he's the light heavyweight champion, and nobody wants to fight him. He's 19-0 with 19 knockouts.
I mean, he's just doing an interview right now. There's no marks on his face. It just shows that this guy's an animal.
Because I was holding it on my head, and he was beating on my hand.
And that's why you got the bruise there.
Yeah,
as well.
this is why I felt like my arm, my hand came inside of my head, you know.
Artur Beterbiev is one of the most feared boxers, and people who have fought him know why. He is so strong that other fighters get hurt and tired when they fight him. Dmitry Bivol, an elite light heavyweight, talked about sparring with Beterbiev and showed how violent his hands were. Beterbiev is so scary because of how strong he is. His opponents are afraid not only of losing to him but also of getting hurt from taking his hits. Many boxers are afraid to go into the ring with him because he can mentally and physically break down even the toughest ones. Bivol remembered how his thumbs swelled up from taking Beterbiev's hits while he was trying to protect his head. He said the force was so strong that it felt like someone was driving their hand into his own head. Beterbiev is not only strong, but also a nightmare to fight.
Very strong punches, right hand, even through my left. I have, you see my thumb is swollen because I was holding it on my head and he was beating on my hand.
And that's why you got the bruise there.
Yeah,
as well.
this is why I felt like my arm, my hand came inside of my head, you know, from the...
Joe Rogan says that fighters are afraid of Beterbiev because he has been unbeatable and has won every fight he has fought by a huge margin. Rogan notes that no one has been able to outlast him in the ring. He also talks about how Beterbiev looks and points out that he has a thick beard, which is common for Muslim soldiers. This makes him appear even more dangerous when paired with his fierce fighting style. Rogan notes that Beterbiev is more than just strong. He is an unrelenting force that subdues opponents. His image alone deters fighters from joining him in the arena.
One of the scariest guys in the world right now is this guy, Artur Beterbiev, and he's the light heavyweight champion, and nobody wants to fight him. He's 19-0 with 19 knockouts. No one survives. And he's got this seek and destroy style that's absolutely terrifying. He just comes at guys and never backs up, and he looks like a fucking terrifying human. He's built like a tank with that lower beard that Muslims have. You know, he's just a monster.
Speaking to fans following the fight, KH acknowledged that he had initially thought Dmitry Bivol had the skill and strategy to win, but after seeing Beterbiev in action, his entire view changed. He stressed that this was the first time he had truly watched Beterbiev fight, and the experience left him stunned. Amir Khan was in awe after watching Beterbiev's performance, calling him an absolute beast in the ring. Khan praised Beterbiev's nearly faultless performance, calling him punch-perfect throughout the fight. He stressed Beterbiev's amazing ability to deliver devastating blows while keeping a strong defensive stance, which sets him apart from most fighters who take damage in high-level fights. Beterbiev emerged from the fight almost unmarked, but Bivol's face showed obvious signs of damage, demonstrating the brutality of Beterbiev's punches. According to KH, his hands weren't random swings. Rather, they were well-placed blows. He wasn't just a careless brawler. He was systematic, planned, and destructive. Technically sound and incredibly efficient, Khan was especially intrigued by Beterbiev's capacity to exert tremendous force with both hands, which made him a continual danger in every interaction.
Pro boxing fans, Amir Khan, just give me your thoughts, man. Artur Beterbiev becoming the undisputed champion. Give me your thoughts, bro.
Amazing fight, man. Honestly, I have to say that both fighters fought out their skin. Honestly, put big shots was landing, big shots were getting defended. I mean, but one thing I can say, it's the first time I saw Artur fight Beterbiev. What a beast he is. I mean, look, I thought Bivol was gonna go into this fight and win this fight, but after watching this fight and watching him fight how he fought, what a beast he is. Honestly, like, there's no one beating him. The guy was punch perfect, great defense, it's very strong, hits hard with both hands, and you can see how marked up Bivol was. I mean, look at Artur now. I mean, he's just doing an interview right now. There's no marks on his face. It just shows that this guy's an animal.
In addition to his offensive prowess, Khan noticed Beterbiev's superior defensive ability. Many onlookers mistake Beterbiev for having only knockout power, but Khan noted that his defense is just as strong, and his ability to withstand pressure without suffering significant visible damage demonstrates his ability to avoid clean strikes.
We're here with Artur Beterbiev, trainer John Scully. Man, tell me...
assistant trainer.
Assistant trainer, sorry. I see you holding the pads, so you're getting the hard work on the hands, I see.
Yes, sir.
Man, what's talk about his power? Obviously 17-0, 17 knockouts. I want to say, at least from my recollection, I don't know another unified light heavyweight champion who's been undefeated and had 100% knockout ratio.
Right, yeah, I don't remember any. Well, I always tell people, whenever they ask me about his power, I always tell them this. I talk to the sparring partners, because I drive them to the gym and take them back. And they all just, the descriptions they give me. One guy, well, I'll tell you what, Lonnie David, they call him Lonnie B, Lionel Thompson. He will tell you himself. He said he got hit by a car a few years ago. He said sparring with Arthur was worse than getting hit by a car.
Oh, wow.
So once I heard that, I said, okay, now I see why everybody's, talking like they do.
Because opponents can't count on wearing him down, his toughness and resilience make him even more dangerous. This fight was a revelation for Khan, who was expecting one result but came away with a greater respect for Beterbiev's dominance. He called him a complete fighter who has the ability to reign supreme for years to come. Khan was certain that, at 175 pounds, Beterbiev is nearly unbreakable. He emphasized that after watching this fight, he couldn't see anyone in the division offering a legitimate threat to him because of his combination of power, skill. Sport talk about Beterbiev all the time because he is a unique force in boxing, a unified light heavyweight champion with an unrivaled amount of power that leaves opponents and practice partners in awe. His sparring partners also share some of the most startling facts about his power. Trainer John Scully has interviewed many of them, and their accounts are astounding. When training for his fight against Marcus Brown, Lionel Thompson, a skilled fighter himself, once said that sparring with Beterbiev was worse than getting hit by a car. This isn't an exaggeration. It's the truth of what it feels like to take punches from him. They focused heavily on his left hook to the body during training, which he was cracking with full power, but in sparring, he held back. When Scully told him to punch harder, Beterbiev simply replied, "If I do that, everyone goes home." His power isn't just about brute force, it's exactly controlled and overwhelming, which is why fighters both respect and dread him. Mickey Bey admits that Dimitri Bivol is more skillful. He still gives Beterbiev the edge due to his amazing strength and toughness. He feels that Beterbiev is the best fighter in the division at 175 pounds. According to Bey, he has heard stories about the kind of damage Beterbiev can do for years, and those stories have connected with him. He has spoken to several boxers who have sparred with Beterbiev, and they all agree that his punching strength is amazing. Beterbiev is more dangerous than just a power puncher because he also holds real skills.
David wants to fight the winner of Bivol and Beterbiev. But Nez, I'm gonna be the first one to tell you this, but I know you're gonna disagree with me. Nobody's beating Artur Beterbiev at 175, bro. Nobody. David to get his ass knocked out. Bivol is going to get his ass knocked out. And if Canelo want that smoke at 175, Canelo would get knocked out by Beterbiev. But Beterbiev is the best boxer at 175. He's a beast, Nez. My nigga be chopping trees when he training for fights, man. Beterbiev is that nigga, man. I know he's old. Y'all niggas, he's old. Bruh, I don't give a fuck, bruh. Everybody that stepped in the ring with him, they went.
When asked about Joe Smith Jr.'s chances against Beterbiev, Bey didn't hesitate to say that he respects Smith's toughness, but doesn't see Smith winning based on what he's heard from fighters who have fought with Beterbiev. It reminds him of how people used to talk about prime Mike Tyson. Bey thinks that Beterbiev is the most dangerous boxer in the light heavyweight class since Mike Tyson. Rarely do boxers command that level of respect and fear in the sport. Joe Rogan praised Beterbiev, calling him one of the most frightening boxers in the sport. He described a brutal training session in which Beterbiev swung a sledgehammer at a tire for an entire hour. Rogan was surprised, saying that fighters like Beterbiev are built differently. He also emphasized that Beterbiev is a rare kind of knockout artist, boasting a perfect record of 19 wins, all by knockout, even when opponents cover up, showing the sheer force he generates.